So then what does that mean? It means, therefore, that if you're of African ancestry and you're not getting your full complement of circadian rhythm, then it means, therefore, that if you are a short sleeper and you don't get adequate sleep, then that makes you more vulnerable for getting all these other adverse health conditions, right? This is where, in many ways, you might be more vulnerable and more susceptible to sleep-related chronic diseases or cognitive decline or poor mood, right? And I think this is where, when we're talking about sleep, we can't just speak about it on a surface level. We're gonna have to get to the deep roots. And this is kind of the work that we do, and we want to inform people. Unfortunately, we cannot reverse slavery, and we cannot reverse the transatlantic and capture of folks, right? Unfortunately, we can start to modify and do things about it. So one of the things that I oftentimes tell people, and it's very tough, and this is just me editorializing, no side, my apologies. This is why you see people of African ancestry, especially in the North, that who are shift workers, meaning they work at untraditional times, they work at nights when they should be sleeping. This is why the rates of diabetes and obesity and hypertension is far greater in these individuals. And that's just one of the reasons. There's so many other things, such as stress. And in many ways, I truly believe, because of the fact that you have this misalignment in your circadian, then it's harder for you to deal with stress because you're constantly aroused. You're constantly having cortisol pumping through your body because that's the way in which the body is trying to catch up, right? Because you don't have the full complement of the 24 hours. So what does the body do? Well, it has to still pump more cortisol to keep it aroused. Again, this is where I said, not entirely proven, but it's grounded in science in many ways, which is why I said it's more along the lines of conjecture. And so that's kind of where, one, we believe some of these sleep-related disparities come about, but at the same time, this is where we think the mechanisms in terms of the consequences of these sleep-related disorders or chronic health conditions come from. And so just want people to be aware of that, and I want to be careful about this, because I don't want people of African ancestry to see themselves as, and excuse the term, but I don't want to see themselves as, eternally defective because of that, right? Because we've had, folks say that to us for other reasons, saying why we're inferior and why we're not as intelligent. I'm not saying that. What I am saying is that because of this, unfortunately, we have had a tilting in the axis of our earth, meaning our bodies. And because of that, we have to find remediating strategies about certain things. So for me, this is why I try not to drink alcohol, right? I try to reduce my stress as much. I try and ensure that I don't eat unhealthily, because I know I have this slight inherent, shifting of the slope in the axis that you just have to be a little bit more mindful of.